Welcome to the Underdog Pick'em Show on the LineStar YouTube channel. Alongside my co-host Tyler Wiemann, I'm Shannon Sommerville. It is week 12 in the NFL, and we've got you covered for your Pick'em entry on Underdog. If you don't have Underdog yet, go ahead and download it. Use the promo code LineStar when you do so you can get a nice deposit match. Plus, you'll also get 1 free month of the LineStar app. The LineStar app is exactly what we are using for our Pick'em today. We have a tab specifically designed on our PropsAI tool for Underdog. So you just click on Underdog, and it'll show you LineStar's projection compared to what's out there on Underdog. So it's a really great tool, and you'll see us reference it throughout the video. So you can check that out for yourself if you'd like, LineStarApp.com. And in fact, last week, oh man, 4-1, but we missed by just a yard. That's a heartbreaker, Tyler. Look at this entry last week. Puka crushed it. 123 receiving yards for him. Taysom Hill had a game. He came in with 50 receiving yards. Cortland Sutton, nice pick there, Tyler. He came in with 78 receiving yards. And my man, George Pickens, Bulldogs don't let you down ever. 89 receiving yards per him. But Christian McCaffrey, CMC came in with 27. Womp womp. So close there. Oh man, brutal beat. But we'll charge forward this week. So I think our luck is about to turn for this week. So I'm excited to get into it. Before we do, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below. As always, a comment enters you into our contest. So if we go 5 for 5, hopefully it's in the cards for this week. One randomly selected commenter will win $100, and we will announce that on next week's show and along with a nice money gun celebration. We're locked and loaded. So let's get into our entries for this week. All right, let's start things off with Rookie of the Year frontrunner here. Jayden Daniels, higher than 38.5 rushing yards. LineStar's projection for Jayden Daniels here is 46.2, the consensus at 41. And in fact, Jayden Daniels is averaging just under 44 rushing yards per game and has been over in 7 of 11 games this season, going up against the Dallas Cowboys, who, as we've seen throughout this season, struggle against the run, 27th specifically in rush defense DVOA. They're allowing 28.6 rush yards per game to quarterbacks. That is 4th worst in the NFL. When we look back at some of the rushing quarterbacks and how they've fared against the Cowboys, Jalen Hurts, 56, Brock Purdy, 56, Lamar Jackson, 87, Deshaun Watson even had 39. So I like the spot here for Jayden Daniels to clear just that 38.5 rushing yards mark. Tyler, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like the play, Jayden Daniels. It seems like he is getting healthier every single week. So we know he had his rib injury, and since then his yards per game rushing have actually been down a little bit, which makes sense. I mean, you don't want to get shots to the ribs carrying the ball.
Oh, yeah.
But he was back up to 7 carries last week. The week before was only 3. So I think that is a little bit of a sign that they're trying to let him loose a little bit and that he's starting to feel, a little bit better. The other thing that I think is interesting is that he has more yards per game or rush yards per game in wins. He's averaging 49.9 in wins versus 33 in losses. This game does look like one that they should be able to win. So we'd expect that higher number.
Oh, man. Well, poor Cowboys fans having themselves quite the season, but we got to go against him here with the Commanders pick. We were talking just the other day about the top maybe 5 most miserable fan bases right now, and Cowboys got to be on that list as well. Forgot to mention that in I think it was our Thursday night football show. So shout out to all you Cowboys fans. Feel for you guys. I'm a Jets fan, so I know the feeling. But next up, let's go to a more positive note, and the Minnesota Vikings. How about running back Aaron Jones? Higher than 80.5 rush and receiving yards. LineStar's projection is 96.6. The consensus 84.8. And in fact, Aaron Jones averaging 95 total yards per game. And he's been over in 7 of 10. Going up against Chicago, they're 31st in rush defense DVOA. This was a game Josh Jacobs had 134 total yards last week. So this is a nice spot for Aaron Jones. What are you thinking about this spot here for him?
They've just been terrible on or protecting the run or stopping the running back. So lately they're allowing 170 rush plus receiving yards to the running back over the last 4 games. I think Aaron Jones is in an absolute great spot. And what we've seen lately is Darnold struggle a little bit. So maybe they get back to Aaron Jones a little bit more, take a little bit of the pressure off Darnold and let him wild.
All right, next up, another running back who's been having some success this season. And we're going to the Detroit Lions and running back David Montgomery, higher than 54.5 rushing yards. LineStar's projection here, 73.9. The consensus is just over 60 rushing yards. And David Montgomery, you know they're going to feed him the ball, averaging 59.5 rushing yards per game this season, going up against the Indianapolis Colts. This could be a good spot for David Montgomery. And I know people may be concerned that Jahmyr Gibbs, the more efficient back in this one, but what's your take on David Montgomery being able to go higher than this 54.5 mark?
Well, Indy's given up a lot of rushing yards, 115 per game. The other part is that David Montgomery tends to have a lot more carries and large margin wins, a win of over, say, 6 points. In those, he's averaging 15 carries a game, and they've had 7 of those so far this year, and in 5 of them, he's been over. So while Gibbs is more explosive, and I love that aspect of him, I think Montgomery is a little bit of a safer play when we're going to bet on a running back spot for him.
All right, so those are our top 3 using that PropsAI tool on the LineStar app, as always. But now it is time for Tyler and I to give our best picks of the week on Underdog. Last week we both got them right, so let's see if we can run it back. Tyler, who are you rolling with?
I'm going to roll with Bucky Irving, higher than 49.5 rushing yards. The LineStar projections just a tad under. Our consensus is 53.8, so just a tad over. But the big thing here to me is the Giants have just been very, very poor against the run lately. They're allowing 169.8 yards per game on the ground over the last 4. Bucky's averaging 49.2, but he's really been only operating as like the 1B to Rachaad White's 1A over, the back half of the season here. And now he is the primary ball carrier. He has out-carried White in 3 of the 4 games. And RB1s have been over in 4 of 5 versus the Giants. So I like the spot. They've been giving up too much. Irving is explosive and he's going to get more carries.
Oh, what do you think? Speaking of the Giants, what do you think about Tommy Cutlets taking over the starting job? Any thoughts on that?
Just the pride of New York or New
York
Jersey,
football is pretty brutal right now. I'll tell you what.
Oh, it's ugly.
It's bad for the Giants, bad for the Jets, and all right. So for my pick, we're going to the Miami Dolphins, an AFC East rival of the Jets. We're going with Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah, higher than 63.5 receiving yards. LineStar's projection here showing some pretty considerable edge. 81 is our projection. The consensus around 67.2, but I know Hill's only averaging 52.3, and yes, he has had a down year higher than that 63.5 mark, only 4 of the 10 games. In a good matchup, though, going up against the New England Patriots, who ranked 26 in pass DVOA, specifically versus the wide receiver one. So this could be a spot where some of those explosive plays start to hit. He has done well against the Patriots in the past. He, in fact, had 69 receiving yards against them earlier this year. So I think this could be an okay spot for him. He has been a little bit banged up throughout the course of the season, and half the season he didn't have his quarterback Tua. I think they're going to start to find him a little bit more with consistency, and those plays are going to start to hit. They'll find the Cheetah in this one against the New England Patriots, so I'm rolling with him. Although I do need to say that I kind of feel bad for Tyreek Hill because I guess he's been getting harassed a little bit by fantasy owners and just avid bettors because he just hasn't been hitting the overs, I guess, on a lot of props for some people. So he says anytime he goes out with his family right now that he is bombarded by people giving him a hard time about their fantasy league. So maybe let's cool it on, get going after players for their performance. I'm sure that they would love to be crushing it for us, but hopefully he can do it this week and it'll be a redemption. We can all come together and rejoice in a Tyreek Hill performance of about I'll settle for 100 yards, but I'll also settle for 64 in this one. That would be nice. So we can help put together a winning entry on Underdog this week. All right, so recapping our picks on Underdog for this week, we're rolling with Jayden Daniels, higher than 38.5 rushing yards, Aaron Jones, higher than the 80.5 total yards, David Montgomery, higher than 54.5 rushing yards, Bucky Irving, higher than 49.5 rushing yards, and Tyreek Hill, higher than 63.5 receiving yards. Again, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below when you're into our contest. So make sure to comment below. Let us know if you've got any great picks for this week on Underdog. Please let us know in the comments. We're all trying to help each other out. We've got some very sharp commenters here, so they've been super helpful, crushing it this season. We appreciate it. Good luck in your Underdog entry for week 12. Let's hope we can finally get over the hump here. 4-1. That one hurt a little bit last week, Tyler. Let's get it back here. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you next time.